I fucking lose it. The kids are losing it. We're all freaking out. There are like 8 kids on the other team just openly sobbing. It was spectacular. Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I'm pretty satisfied.
Lori is pretty satisfied, and we'll leave it at that. Tonight is Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. How in the world is it suddenly November? What the fuck happened?
Sneaks up on you. That's why they have that rule with politics, you know? They can't have the Tuesday sneaking up on you, so you have to have a Monday first.
Is that what that's all about?
That's the story behind it.
All right, Abe. As always, it is imperative that we live bet the games. My gambling balance is dwindling, and I need you to help me out. We're starting late tonight because we threw a birthday party for the boy. So we're going to pivot. And instead of betting on Monday Night Football, I have pulled up some NBA action here. I'll tell you, I'll give you the choice of games. There are 2 games starting in the 10 o'clock window. We have the Lakers on the road at the Portland Trail Blazers. That's 2 words for Trailblazers. I always get that wrong when I type it out. And then the Miami Heat on the road against the Los Angeles Clippers. Which of those 2 games would you like to bet?
I believe the Lakers have their top guys sitting out. So I'm going to go with that one and go with the
You want to bet that one? All right, so we got the Lakers plus 9.5 points and plus 280 on the road on the money line against the Trailblazers.
Yes, I'm going with the Trail Blazers, but I'm not messing with this point system. Just
not messing with the NBA point spreads. That's probably wise.
Yes.
So that'll be a $5 bet to win $1.43 in return.
We're back at this again. You know, it usually doesn't work, but here we are.
You're a hungry team. You want to make the playoffs, the play-in. You don't get these opportunities all that much throughout the season. And unfortunately, I have to say, man, that game early November against LA, we dropped that. And the hope is that that's not what keeps the Blazers away from their goals later on down the road.
No, the hope is that it will spur them.
Not let this happen again.
Exactly. Yeah. Ignite them.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Abe, what a weekend it was.
Boy.
Bob had a real weekend.
Obviously, the top line is what happened with the Georgia Bulldogs down there at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Not the Game 7?
I mean, that was good, too. Less of a pleasant outcome, ultimately, from my perspective, but fun nevertheless. But really, it was a youth sport weekend.
There was a lot.
Not to be bested.
My whole house was feeling itself, as the kids say.
You guys were out of the house in the daytime on Saturday?
Yeah, so Saturday we had Calvin's last fall ball game and his last official Little League game. Because even if he goes on to play more youth baseball, it's no longer like he's beyond that 12-year-old cutoff.
Okay.
So it's not really what you think of as Little League anymore after this. So it's a special time in his life has come to a meaningful end. And good news, we won the last 2 games of the fall ball season against the team that had been consistently kicking our ass for the last 3 years. Coming into a week ago, Saturday, we had beat this team once in 3 years and like 6 seasons.
Sort of this team. It's not exact.
Right, it's not exactly, but it's me against that coach. Okay. And it's like the core of both of our teams essentially stays the same year to year.
It's like a Kirby Saban
I
Oh,
see.
yeah, is that what it is?
Which one are you in this
Is
relationship?
it not?
I'm definitely not
Kirby.
Nick Saban in any scenario. I can't say the other guy is Nick Saban either, but
No, he's definitely a lot like Kirby Smart in general.
Okay.
yeah, we hadn't had a win against these guys, and they were the team that wins the league every year and all of that. And fall ball is a little bit different. It's less. There's less of a focus on just winning games and more of a focus on hopefully giving kids a chance to do stuff they don't normally do. But still, you want to win the games. And after we beat them last week, Calvin started thinking. He's like scheming because we'd taken 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 or something from the other team in the league, and we'd won both of our interleague games that we played. And so we'd split so far with this other team 1-1, and they hadn't lost otherwise. And so he's scheming in his head. He's like, if we win this last game, we can say that we're the best team in the league. I know there's no official championship or anything like that.
There's no leaderboard either.
They don't even really keep track in the way that we do in the spring. But like, I could put my head on my pillow, is what he's thinking, knowing that I won fall ball and that we had the best team for the first time in my little league career. And so he was highly anticipatory of what was going to happen. And then we won just an absolute thriller of a game on Saturday. And like the first one that we won a week ago, I had a little 9-year-old kid on my team who hit a bases clearing double to give us the 7-4 lead that we ended up hanging on to, which is just like, it's just the best. And this is a kid who hadn't done jack shit for us all season long, Henry.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we're probably too young to be playing with this group of kids, but because his brother was on the team and it was their last chance to play together probably for their whole lives, the mom and dad are like, hey, let's get them together. It's like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah, it probably wasn't the best for his baseball life experience, but it makes things easier on mom and dad. And then also it's a good thing to let brothers play together even though they're more than a couple of years apart. So that was a fun game. And then the one on this most recent one on Saturday, just another great little league baseball game. And it's funny because like, there are good little league baseball games, there are great little league baseball games, and then there are close little league baseball games that are just a complete fucking disaster. Like, and then there are the ones that are 16-4 and it's a completely unremarkable little league baseball game. But we played just a really good little league baseball game on Saturday and won, and it was cool.
What was the score?
I think it was like 7-6 or
We have
something.
it in
right?
Game Changer somewhere.
It's in my app here. 9-8 was the final of the game on Saturday, and that included the fact that we went down 3-1 and then 7-1 before starting our comeback. So we were down 3-1 and then 7-1. We scored 3 to make it 7-4, and then 4 more to make it 8-7 before giving up a run to make it 8-8, and then scoring a run in the top of the 5th to go up 9-8, and then shutting them down in the 5th and the 6th inning.
It was very exciting.
With superior pitching. Yeah, it was spectacular. And I just felt really good because these kids who were with me for the last 2 or 3 years, some of them, I think like 4 or 5 of them are 12s who are like, I just won't have anymore. And so it wasn't just that Calvin felt good about this. It was like sort of a good gift to these kids who'd been getting their asses kicked the last couple of years. But a lot of fun. And then on Sunday, I thought, what could be better than Calvin's team winning in spectacular fashion? And then we played like one of the single most fun Little League minors baseball games that I've ever been a part of on Katie's team. And we got down in that game 7-1, I think, was the score before we started our comeback.
Yep. It was rough.
It was great even though, like I say, you could have Little League games that are close but are total disasters. But like, this was not that. So the way that the minors works, at least this year, is rather than allowing kids to walk I don't know if I've described this before on the podcast, but we have a sort of hybrid league for our younger kids where they start pitching, but if they issue 4 balls, they do not walk the batter. Rather, the coach comes in and throws 3 more pitches in order to get a ball in play. So you can still strike out after you've earned
so much more fun.
Right. What the only downside is you can still strike out after you've earned a walk, quote unquote. Right?
And Bob struck out some guys.
Yeah.
Bob had a
Wait a
rough
minute.
day on
I'm-
the mound.
I'm trying to get a visual here. So the kid throws 4 balls.
And then
Do they
me, the coach of the batting team, comes in and throws 3 more pitches. Rather than taking the walk, we want balls in play because what we're trying to do is generate baseball plays
Gotcha.
rather than just having, because it's hard. When you have 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, it's hard to find more than 1 or 2 on a team who can consistently throw strikes, right? So you'd be in a situation where most
It's
of the
just constant
time
walks.
you would just walk in 5 runs every inning, and then
It's super boring.
there's your 5-run limit. Let's just turn things over now, and so it makes for just real shitty baseball experience for everyone involved.
That makes sense.
And now it looks like some Mickey Mouse bullshit when the coach comes out and throws 3 lollipops or what have you to the players, but at least we're getting things moving, right? At least it looks
And
like
you can
baseball.
get them out.
Right. I
Do
struck out the
defense.
side in the 3rd inning. I struck out my 2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Yeah, Bob sucked.
Can you react like pitchers do when they get an out? Like you're not supposed to celebrate, are you?
No,
have-
it's bad for him.
I have once or twice in the past, like, given the fist bump and pumped him out, but only when it's like the right kind of kid.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like some of them are like gonna cry if
Oh,
you do that.
yes.
I once heard Eric muttering how many kids he's struck out.
Yeah.
He's like, that's 986.
It's rare that I could strike out 3 in an inning. And like, to be fair to me, I'm trying to challenge these kids more than most of the other coaches are.
Sure, but also you threw a pitch behind someone.
I did not throw a pitch behind someone. I threw a pitch that was not good, and they leaped forward so as not to be struck by it. And then it ended up behind them.
So you threw a pitch at someone,
hit
and they
him,
had the
yes.
sense to run away. Good.
Does the pitcher then become a fielder, or they just stand there just
Yeah.
waiting for this to end?
Pitcher stands, so usually if there's a lefty up, the pitcher will stand off to the left side. If there's a righty up, the pitcher will stand slightly off to the right of the mound, and then, just becomes a fielder. And then my job as the coach is to get the hell out of the way in the event of a comebacker. But yeah, whatever. The other coaches in the league, most of them tend to like really lollipop it in there and just try to throw it as easily as possible so that their kid will hit it as hard and as far as they can. With some of my youngest kids, I will do that because if you're 7 years old and you suck at baseball, I will do my best to meet you at your level. But like I'm going to throw the ball reasonably hard because in part I want just basic physics here. The harder it's coming in, the more force that you apply in return, the better pop we're going to have off the bat here. So it's not exactly like this is not charity that I'm doing where I'm trying to go up there and strike out the side. But anyway, that's not the point. We go down 7-1. Katie has one of the best innings on the mound that you can imagine for a 10 or 11-year-old girl. She goes out there, she throws 7 pitches, 5 on a strikeout. So strikes out the first kid on 5 pitches. The 6th pitch of the inning is a little comebacker grounder to her that she fields cleanly and throws out at first base. And the 7th pitch of the inning is scorched back through the middle. Like just an absolute rocket off of this kid. And like you've seen 1,000 times, maybe you haven't because I don't know how much youth baseball you get to go watch. I know you're a big volleyball guy, but you've seen 1,000,000 times like the kid who's just standing in the right spot and like the ball finds the glove, right? Like whether it's in the outfield and he just sort of holds it up and then is surprised to find that the ball has landed in it, or the kid on the mound where it's just scorched back up in the middle and it happens to go right in the glove, right? But this is not what happened. So line drive back to Katie to the hand side, right? So we have a glove side and we have a hand side. So her throwing arm side, And of course, when the pitcher lands, ideally you want to land square to the plate so that you're ready to field your position. And she did. And she shoots that glove side over to her right hip and snags this ball like behind her as it's going, like it's basically cleared her hip already by the time that she gets the glove to it and squeezes, right? So it's this, and she looks down at the glove because she says she could feel it trying to come out, like she could feel it still traveling in the glove.
Yeah.
And she was just shocked
Face.
that it was, and I'm going to send you this photo because we had this wonderful woman with the Little League who's helped me out numerous times.
In every way possible. She is an angel.
And she happens to also take photographs of our games a lot of the time. And she captured the moment after it happened perfectly. And it's Katie. You can zoom in on her face.
Yeah.
Just making a holy shit, what did I just do face. And then on the right side of the frame, it's just perfect because her buddy from down the street, this kid that a family
They've been friends their whole
they've been
life.
friends, yeah, their whole conscious lives basically. He was playing third, and so he's just given the two arms up in absolute glory, like cheering for his friend from down the street. As she's just like, what the fuck did I just do? And meanwhile, and I verified this with her later because I don't always remember what it is that I said in the moment. But I'm saying something like just screaming at the top of my lungs, make a baseball play, Katie Howard. How about it? Like just absolutely losing my mind.
Did you hear him just now?
No, you cut out.
No, he cut out.
No, because I went too loud. I blew out the mic. I'm going, make a baseball play, Katie Howard. How about it? Just as loud as I possibly can. Like it was just the fucking play of her life
That
in
is
terms
amazing.
of
So far.
on defense. And yeah, what I loved most about it is that it was not just one of those sheer luck things. It was, to some extent, it's sheer luck, right? Because it's not like there's no conscious thought that goes into it. It's just, I got to get my glove over here and make a play real quick.
Right.
But it was just perfect.
And just all day, she was just, yeah, I did that.
And then,
yeah, I did that. We can all go home.
but it sparked something because we were down 7-1 at that point.
Oh, so it was still 7-1 at this point, at this juncture.
Right, so we had given up 5 runs in the second inning because, but not because the kid was like. This is what I mean about a good baseball game rather than a close baseball game. The pitcher that I put in the second inning was throwing too many strikes, and I know that sounds silly, but like if you
At that age.
at this age, and the team that we were going up against,
Throwing hittable balls.
they have an experienced team that's relatively more veteran than our team is. And so the pitcher out there is a step below them, but throws strikes.
Right.
And their hitters can hit meatballs, essentially, right? And you would expect that. But like a lot of teams, you throw meatballs, they're not going to hit them. And to be fair, they had 2 kids on this team who had like essentially their first hits of the season off of our kid, which is great. Like I'm super happy for that kid. The kid, one of these kids, I've been watching play baseball for 3 or 4 years now, and I don't think I've seen him get a hit in the last 2. Like it's been a minute for this kid. And so like he hits a double to center off of my kid, and it sucks obviously. But also it's like, good for you, guy.
Yeah.
So even though, I'm frustrated that they're hitting the shit out of my dude here, the fact that he's throwing strikes and he's not just walking dudes and the other coach comes in and throws lollipops and now they're going to get their 5 runs. Like I feel relatively good about that. And it's not like we were playing bad defense either. They were just kind of smoking the ball. So that is what it is. Anyway, we're down 7-1 and then we start our comeback and we get to the last of the 5th, which is going to be the last inning, and we're losing at that point. We had chipped away. I think we got a run each in the 3rd and the 4th after Katie threw her spectacular inning in the 3rd there. And so 7-3 going into the last of it, which the last of the 5th was going to be the last just because of light issues or time issues. And I get a quick run and then 2 outs. And so now it's 7-4. We score another run with 2 outs, and then I get a runner on, and my best hitter comes up, and he hits a absolute rocket to the fence. And at this level, you hit a rocket to the fence, you're probably going to have a home run.
Who was that?
That was Jace.
Okay.
Jace hits one to the fence, and for like the first or only the second time this, like he had done this a lot. He's my best hitter, not even close. I usually held him at third because we were usually winning games, and I would rather have a runner on third base with more kids coming to the plate, right? Like sort of keep things going in that way, which is funny because there used to be a thing that I used to make fun of Jeff Francoeur and John Smoltz for saying, where it's like, well, what you really don't want, sometimes a 3-run homer can be a bit of a rally killer. You'd rather have a single or a double here just to keep the momentum.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't. You take the 3-run, but and then like I'm on the little league field and I'm stopping kids from scoring home runs because I want to keep the rally going. Like, okay, maybe that's what they were talking about after all. So 7-5, kid hits a 2-run home run or 4-bagger. Not really a home run, obviously, but scores all the way around inside the park home run. 7-7 now. With 2 outs, we've been living on 2 outs for a very long time here, right? And just staying alive.
Same pitcher on the mound the whole time.
Same pitcher on the mound the whole time. Kid is falling apart. His third baseman is exasperated and yelling at his teammates. The pitcher is practically sobbing out there. Many such cases in Little League. And the kid who comes to the plate, his name is Bobby, and he started the season very well. This is a kid who I had not known before. He came from another Little League. A lot of the other leagues in the area don't necessarily have fall ball, and so during the fall we get an influx of kids who play their spring baseball elsewhere, but then come to our Little League to play fall baseball with us. And so I had not known this kid before. He shows up to the first practice, and like he's very quiet, soft-spoken kid, and full of all sorts of nervous energy. Very much wants to be good at baseball. Very much loves baseball. And I say that because it's sort of rare. This is rec baseball, right? This is not travel baseball. This is half of these kids have been signed up by their parents and then dragged to practice because they don't actually want to go. And so it's notable when you have a kid who really cares about the game and like wants to be good at the game sort of for its own sake. And that's the sort of kid that this is. And he started well, and I think a lot of it had to do with that sort of nervous energy. Right. Like, I gotta do well. But it wasn't fucking him up. It was helping him. And then he went on a stretch in the middle of the season where he just didn't hit anything for like a month. And it was rough, and it was eating him up. And I felt bad about it. I would have Calvin work with him for an extra 20 or 30 minutes, like off the tee, because Calvin was there helping out the younger kids. Since I have sort of minimal coaching help, so I can have Calvin work with the younger kids. And not that Calvin is a hitting instructor, but I give Calvin like 3 or 4 cues to work on with these kids, and it sometimes helps. So he did a bunch of extra work. Like Mom was sending me photos of him taking batting practice in his backyard with Dad,
nice.
like because she knows that he's struggling, and we all know that he's struggling, and like, but they take it very seriously, and it's wonderful when parents take it seriously and the kids take it seriously and all of that. He turned it around in our last game. He had a couple of hits in our last game, and it felt real good. I had struck him out once already in this game, and I think the other time he came up, he struck out against the kid. So he had 2 strikeouts in this game. He was feeling nervous. I could tell. He takes the walk, and I come out to the mound. And first pitch, he watches go by. He didn't like it. It was too close inside. And I have my reasons for throwing inside. It doesn't matter. But he didn't want it inside. So he lets that one go. And I only get 3 pitches.
And yeah, you have to swing at them.
Got to swing
you can't,
at them. Because
there's no coach pitch balls.
If it's a good pitch, it's a bad pitch. It doesn't matter. You only get 3 pitches, and you got to put one of them in play.
You can foul them off as much as you want.
Sure, you can foul them off. And then I throw another pitch, and he smokes it down the right field line over the first baseman's head, and it lands less than 6 inches fair. It is just fair.
Wow.
And then did the thing where it lands fair, but then continues into the corner.
Right. So goes down the right field line.
Bounces foul eventually.
What I have called triples alley, because if you can hit a ball to the right field corner, we can practically roll you to third base, right? Like it takes forever, because usually your right fielder is going to be among your least advanced
Least
players.
athletic.
Is that where you
Least
stash
as
away
well.
players? Is that how it works?
That's where they
Well,
go to.
yeah.
That's where you go to hide your players.
Well, but
certainly.
And in the major league, when they're all athletes, your outfield is fast people, so like they can get there. Like that's a double in a real
but if
baseball
you hit a ball
game.
to the fence, which is 200 feet away from home plate, and your worst player has to go retrieve it, that's like now it's
20 minutes.
It's 3 throws to get it home, right? At most, it's 2 throws, but it's almost certainly 3 throws to get it home from there. And so Bobby is chugging around the bases, and I am waving him home the whole time. Like, there is no doubt in my mind. It is 7-7. We're not playing extra innings. The game is over one way or another.
Okay.
Like, if he gets thrown out at the plate and it's 7-7 and we've tied this game, he's going to be a sad kid. But like, ultimately, we walk away pretty happy, right? We were down 7-1. Pretty awesome comeback, no matter what happens here. But I have a pretty good idea that he's going to be safe. So I send him home. He slides in as the ball is getting there. Like, it ended up being a pretty close play. The catcher didn't end up catching it, of course, because
That's
it's
the thing
Little
with
League
minors
baseball.
especially.
Because not only does the catcher have to catch it, now we have to get a fucking tag down, right? Like, it's a tough thing to do, is to have a play at the plate in Little League baseball.
And this is what?
Anyway.
2 throws to the catcher, or how?
3.
I think it was 2 throws, because I think that I'm not sure who ran out there. I think their second baseman, or even maybe their shortstop. I think it was the shortstop. I think shortstop runs all the way out there to be the cutoff man for right field, which is not to code, right? It's not what you usually do. But also, shortstop is the best kid on the team, so like typical. But he runs out there, he gets it, and then chucks it home. And so, yeah, relatively close play at the plate. But he slides in. He's safe. I fucking lose it. The kids are losing it. We're all freaking out. There are like 8 kids on the other team just openly sobbing. Like, it was spectacular. And I say that because there's a chance that we come all the way back and either tie it or lose it late, right? And I would have had 6 or 7 kids openly sobbing. And it still would have been great, right? Like, I love so much the fact that this inflicts real pain on them in a way that truly hurts them, right? But doesn't also, right? Like, it's almost exactly what it is for. It is to train you to care about something a great deal and to want it real bad, and then to not get it sometimes. Right. And that's fine, actually. That the nearly getting there and not getting it is a big part of what makes youth sport, I think, important in terms of character stuff, right? Like, we're both revealing and building it. And so, yeah, I felt bad momentarily for those kids on the other side, but like, you shake their hands, you tell them good game, and I know the majority of these kids. I know them well after years of being around them. And so, like, after the game is over and they've talked to their coach, it's nice to go up to them again and tell them, like, awesome baseball game, can't wait to see you in the spring, that sort of thing. But also, like, what an awesome thing to be able to give the kids on my team in terms of a going away present for the end of the fall season, is that sort of a win.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah, I think that's like 30 minutes of Little League baseball recap here.
It was.
That's awesome.
That's okay.
On a weekend where a lot of other excellent stuff happened. We should probably talk about the college football action. First and foremost, Hugh Freeze has been fired.
Oh, yes. This is quite the year when it comes to fired coaches. And they're not going to end there, like we spoke on before. Like, Norvell is likely to be out at Florida State. So this is a very rough year. Although they're recycling the same names. Like, I've been reading as far as potential people that they're going to hire at these vacancies, and it's the same name. So I don't know how that's going to shake out. Get the new guy.
Kentucky-Auburn was 3-3 at the half and ended 10-3.
It was great. Classic SEC of the early 2000s matchup.
Not because of superior defense, though.
No, it just sucked.
How was your viewing experience for Saturday? This stupid dispute between Disney and YouTube TV, like all of the ESPN related channels were gone from my YouTube TV, and you can probably just go use the ESPN app. For whatever reason, I just watched whatever they gave me, and it was just a bunch of just crud.
Why am I seeing so much Big Ten,
Right, it was just
Big 12 football this week?
There are certain games that I just know the results of, but I did not watch like 1 second of it, including the Vandy game that looked like Texas turned things around, and then you see afterwards it's like a 3-point game, but it looked like Vanderbilt was getting dominated. But there were so many games that I missed, and I went to...
Did you miss Georgia, Florida?
No, I went to a bar to watch that, just to make
Okay.
sure that I don't miss that. But like all the other stuff, because usually during the day I just have the TV on with the 4 different options, and they usually have some SEC games on.
Okay. So glad you asked this question. I decided to pay Disney more money than I had been, which I was paying them and also paying YouTube. And now I'm just paying Disney more. So
Disney won.
Disney wins. Disney wins. Well played, Disney.
This is it's so completely unacceptable. And like I don't know who to be madder at. Last week I was madder at Google, and then I read some stuff, and now I'm madder at Disney. And ultimately it doesn't fucking matter. I'm mad at both of them, and it sucks to be a consumer. Where now we went from it's like Lori was paying for a package that was Disney and Hulu and ESPN Plus or
Select.
something.
ESPN Select, which was mostly soccer. They've selected soccer.
Right, and so then we had to upgrade that for $10 more per month.
$6 more.
Whatever it is, to have ESPN Unlimited, which is the package for Disney and Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited for like $29 or $39.99 a month or something.
Holy shit.
No, but I was already paying.
She was already paying
Some.
$10 less
God,
than that,
I see.
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm paying $6 more per month, which when football ends,
Yeah, you could do it.
I might not.
Yeah.
because I don't want to
Well,
watch any
except when
basketball.
football ends, we should just quit YouTube TV once and for all. And by once and for all, I mean until next August
Yeah.
when the football season starts again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because it's like, I don't even know how they
This
just
is
have
not the
you
time to
over a
talk about
barrel
this.
if you want to watch fucking football.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at we should just cancel YouTube TV. But then it's okay. Now we need to do is we need to add the Fox fucking package with ESPN. And then that one is like $50 a month if you do ESPN and Fox together, just essentially the football package. That's $50 a month. If you do Fox standalone, it's like $30 a month or something. But if you're already paying for ESPN Unlimited through Disney Plus, then maybe it's just so fucking stupid. And then if you're doing all of that, you're missing out on all the CBS and CW and NBC games, unless you go and add a bunch of other bullshit, or just keep paying YouTube TV after all to keep those three situations going. And it's just it just sucks so much ass.
Yeah. It sucks. So I just paid Disney more.
Yeah. And what's super frustrating is that when this inevitably resolves, what it's going to be is you're going to get an email from YouTube TV, and it's going to say, "Hey, good news! All your channels are coming back. Bad news. It went from $82.99 to $95.99 a month, or whatever it's going to be." And this was something that they billed at the beginning of it. They hooked us all when it was like $29.99 in markets when they were first coming on, right? And then for a while it was $50.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll
$50
just
a
be
month.
$3 more, right? It'll probably be like closer to $90, like whenever they.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Another $10 or $15 a month, probably.
Yeah. Anyway,
With
we
the
watched football.
ESPN Unlimited, were you able to do the quad box? Like, what are the?
It's
on
not
the
as
TV,
good.
yes, but you can't. But just like YouTube TV last year,
Okay, so they're-
when you couldn't customize
Okay.
it, and also I can't do it on my phone.
Okay.
They have pre-selected combos for you
Okay.
if you want, and that was fine. Like when we were watching the World Series and the night games at the same time. Yeah, we had the World Series on one TV and then the quad box from ESPN on another, and it was fine. It's not as good
It's not as good,
a product
but it's fine.
as YouTube's is.
And then this weekend, which we'll talk about next time, we'll have a YouTube TV and a Disney TV.
Okay, there you go.
So that's how, thankfully, we live in the future.
Yeah. Before we get into Georgia, Florida, we mentioned that shitty game between Kentucky and Auburn. Indiana manhandled Maryland, and Ohio State had no trouble whatsoever with Penn State. I think we all expressed some surprise at the size of that line, and of course Ohio State ends up covering nevertheless. Julian saying nearly perfect, 20 of 23, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. They seem like they're real good. I think the first college football
Tomorrow.
playoff rankings comes out Tuesday night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Ohio State is 1, Indiana 2 in the AP. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Indiana is the number 1 team in the playoff rankings, just because they have the better resume to this point.
You don't think that Ohio State's name is going to keep them at 1?
I mean, what has Ohio State done besides beat a middling Texas team?
Be Ohio State.
Yeah, that helps certainly.
Well, they'll play each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll play each other.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah,
Probably.
basically it will be meaningless, the distinction, but it'll sort itself out. But that would not shock me if they did go Indiana 1. But I'm thinking Ohio State will be the first.
Yeah. It looked for a minute like South Carolina was maybe hanging with Ole Miss, but Ole Miss sort of runs away with it in the end there. South Carolina is just a total disaster.
What happened to the nerds? You know what?
They got their
lost.
asses kicked. That 48-36 is not in. I mean, it's 12 points. It's 2 scores. So but that score looks like a battle back and forth or what have you. At no point did it look like Georgia Tech was going to be able to hang with NC State.
It was sort of back and forth. It's just that NC State
Was
had
well
2
ahead
more
the entire
fourths.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned Texas and Vandy. Texas runs out in front, and Vandy does everything in their power to come back and tie or win this game, to the point where they should have recovered the onside kick, and it just squirts out of bounds. It hits, it goes past the Texas guy and through the hands of 2 Vandy dudes, and the one who had the best shot at it kind of lands on it sideways and pushes the ball out of bounds rather than securing it inbounds. So that was, I'm glad because Jimmy Carter's very happy,
That's right.
pleased with himself because he ends up getting that one right. But just for the shits and giggles of it, it would have been great for Vandy to go on the road and take one from Texas.
Are we talking about Auburn more, or are we done?
You can. What do you want to say about Auburn?
I have 2 sad things about Hugh Freeze getting fired. One is that Brooks Austin on YouTube and Twitter has openly hated him for a while now and just puts really lovely words to it, and I'm going to miss that. The other sad thing is that Diego Pavia isn't going to get to beat him again.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sad.
Because Diego beat him in, was it 3 successive years or something?
2.
Just 2?
No, 3 years. Because it was at Liberty with New Mexico State, and then at Auburn with New Mexico State, and then at Auburn with Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
It's sad.
yeah? Did the Auburn AD call Hugh Freeze a man of integrity?
Yes.
Is that
yes.
what happened?
Hugh
That
Freeze?
literally, that is the statement. Hugh Freeze is a man of integrity.
What did
It's just
integrity
like
mean?
you could have said anything, and that's what you went with.
Right. It's like you know that you want to say something like on the way out, but just say we want to thank him for his service to Auburn or whatever, wish him well. But a man of integrity, come on.
How much do you think Hugh Freeze would pay for that sort of a goodbye? Like, would that be worth a couple of million?
Hugh Freeze. Coach Freeze is a man of integrity, and we are appreciative of his investment in Auburn and his relentless work over the last 3 years in bolstering our roster.
Yeah.
Man of
I
integrity.
mean, has he left the program better off or worse? It seems like about the
I
same.
don't think you need to ask that.
Miami
Oh, boy.
loses to SMU. Miami just completely falling apart. Carson Beck threw a not great pick in overtime, essentially to seal the deal. He wasn't bad in this game.
No.
And the one pick earlier, because I think he had two.
Yeah,
The
not
early
his
pick
fault.
was not his fault. The classic receiver's fault kind of pick. But Miami falling apart here, and that's kind of a bummer because that was a fun story at the start. We made fun of Calvin, or I did. Anyway, I laughed uproariously when he said, "Give me Boston College, and I don't need your stinking points. Give me Boston College outright against the Fighting Irish." That game was 12-10 Notre Dame, like deep
Right.
into the game. I don't remember how late exactly,
I
but
think
like,
it was the fourth quarter, like in the beginning of the fourth
that
quarter.
game ends 25-10. It must be said.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a almost 30-point spread? Is that when you're? It was like 29 points or something.
It was 20
20-something.
something points, yeah. But yeah, BC kept it close. So a dreadful BC, 1-8 BC now, kept it close against Notre Dame, and I was pulling hard at the end there because like Boston College could do the whole country a fucking favor, and we could be done with Notre Dame here this season if they could pull that off.
Army this weekend or Navy, one of them.
Virginia gets a win out in Cal. It is 2 scores, but it's another one that was extremely close late. Improbably, Virginia 8-1 overall and 5-0 in the ACC, and with Miami losing and Tech losing, like Virginia is like almost certainly playing in the ACC championship.
They're still undefeated
game
in the
at this point.
conference, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it'll be.
I mean, I think they still have they still have
Wake
to
Forest and Duke.
Wake, Duke, and Louisville maybe
their
or something like that.
rival Virginia,
Virginia
Tech.
yeah.
They haven't changed the rules when it comes to the playoff spots, right? If you win the conference, you're in, right? Not necessarily the
Yes.
seeding is guaranteed,
Yes.
but you'll be in.
So you're in. So if you win the conference, but you're ranked 13, then you
Right.
bump out the 12.
So like Virginia could like host a game in mid-December.
Yeah, they could.
I bet we could get a ticket for like $50
That's right.
too. I'd do that. Oklahoma and Tennessee played a fun game. Oklahoma ends up winning it in Neyland Stadium there. That was a good-looking game. They do the black
That
uniforms
was
like
very cool.
once a year now, and the optics of that
No,
whole
this was
stadium
the
are
first
very
time
good.
they've ever done this.
No, they've done the black
The
uniforms.
black uniforms, but like the dark mode thing.
Yeah. No, it looked good. And also very funny that Tennessee lost at home. Totally fine with me. And then the late game that night, Utah running away from Cincinnati. They were a double-digit favorite despite being ranked lower. And 45-14 was the final there. Let's see, any other game here? I guess USC beating Nebraska was also worth mentioning. Dylan Ravioli sucks. Matt Rule
Well, he
gets
got
the...
a season-ending injury. Why don't you be a little nicer?
That's fine. Matt Rule gets the extension and then once again fails to get anything resembling a signature win, of which he has none at Nebraska. But they've decided to guarantee him more years and more money. So good thinking, Nebraska. But let's turn to the Georgia-Florida game. How was the experience of watching it among the people, Abe?
So, this is Halloween weekend, and people, even though it was the day after, people were still out and about dressed in whatever costume that they're in. Not related to the game, but people bring their pets to this. This is one of these outdoor kind of space, bar, restaurant things. So everybody's out and about. Perfect fall weather in Georgia on Saturday. And the dogs just kept on freaking out because people were wearing like the weirdest fucking costumes. Like, I mean, I would be weirded out too. They were just barking at them the whole time. So that was slightly distracting. But it was a nice, it was like mostly all Georgia people. There were hardly any Florida people watching at this bar. And so there were some nervousness, throughout the game until Georgia finally pulls away at the end. It was a fun viewing experience.
There have been Georgia comebacks this year that were more surprising. This game was never like out of hand the way some of these other ones were. At the half, it's 10-10. I think we were down 17-10. Did they score first in the
You could pull up the
second
box
half?
score.
I think we go up 17-10.
I've tried to block this out. I don't want to remember this game.
I do remember a very putrid second quarter. There were just punts everywhere. Just nothing happened. I think there were hardly any points. But I think we took the lead, and then they tied it. And
Okay, yeah, you're right. We took a 17-10 lead. Then they scored 10 unanswered to go up 20-17 before we end up winning 24-20. It didn't feel like any of these other games where all of a sudden we turn things on.
Nope.
And it just works out. It was a messy, sloppy game sort of the whole time. And at no point did it feel like, oh, we have them on lockdown now and things are going to be okay.
Till the knee at the end.
Right. It was not a pleasant viewing experience for me personally, in part because Lori was having just a horrible time. She was so fucking miserable. She was defeated. She didn't believe. She didn't think. Like she was going the full Naveed in terms of her attitude here. And let me tell you some of the things that Naveed texted as this game is going on. First of all, a lot of complaining about Joe Tessitore, which, to be fair, I also spent the bulk of my afternoon and early evening just hating Joe Tessitore and Jordan Rodgers. Like, I think we got Jordan Rodgers because Jesse Palmer would not be acceptable for this particular assignment, right? Because Palmer is usually assigned to he's a partner of Joe Tessitore's, and Tessitore is an obnoxious fuck.
He can be,
right?
Yes.
Calvin, when we turned the game on in the car on the way, Calvin goes, Joe Tessitore.
Yeah. He used to be excited about Joe Tessitore because Joe Tessitore was the play-by-play man for Holy Moly.
Oh, really? I did not know.
The stupid, like, ABC had
That's right, the golf reality
a
show.
stupid golf, like, it was like Golf Meets Most Extreme Challenge or something.
It was golf meets Wipeout.
Yeah. And Tessitore was the play-by-play man for that. And so he would hear, and they used to watch that on on replay on Netflix or Disney Plus or wherever the fuck has it. And so he would hear Joe Tessitore and he'd be like, or Katie would be like, why do I know that voice? And I would say, because of Holy Moly. And they would say, because of Holy Moly, it's Joe Tessitore. And they would be excited by it. But now Calvin realizes that Joe Tessitore sucks at play-by-play because everything is like the most, it's sort of, who's the Fox guy?
Johnson?
Yeah, Charles Johnson.
Or is it, what's his first name? Something else. Gus? Like, what's the guy's
Gus Johnson, you're right, sorry. Gus Johnson, where he gets, like, everything is the most incredible thing that's ever fucking happened. Tessitore does a lot of that.
Right.
And, like, they were so clearly, and so, yeah, first of all, it was nice that it wasn't Jesse Palmer, but Jordan Rodgers is a stupid fuck also. And, like, they were so fully committed to the we're pulling for Florida here because wouldn't that be great narrative of this game, right? Like the Bulldogs are the big, mean, higher-ranked team, and Florida is down on its luck, and they just had their coach fired, and wouldn't it be great that they can all come together and get a win against their hated rival? And they were just in the fucking tank for Florida the entire time, and it was very unpleasant viewing experience as a result. But Naveed is saying stuff like, these guys are so fucking stupid. They are so stupid. It's painful. He's referring to our defense here. This is one lousy-ass football team. That was 10 minutes later. A minute after that. They can lose to anyone within the top 40 or 50 teams. They can't put a full game together ever, and they keep making the same dumbass mistakes week after week after week. Why do we miss the first tackle on first contact every single time? It's astonishing. I can't believe how poor these guys consistently look at basic things. Every time the defense makes a stop, the offense shits all over itself and vice versa. It's insane. I would like to watch Joe Tessitore be horsewhipped for an hour straight on live television. I am 100% serious.
I didn't sound like that.
So that was the experience of being a Georgia fan on Saturday.
Okay. Do you remember when some running back of ours did some run somewhere, and there's a flag thrown, and I said, no. What happened was, guy was running. I saw him get face masked, and I said, that's a face mask. The flag came out. I said, that's a flag for holding. And then they were like, yeah, it's a flag for holding.
Yeah, it was quite well done by Lori. Because I also saw the face mask. I was like, yeah, the flag is for the face mask. And Lori goes, no, it'll be a hold. And she was right. They turned like a 15-yard gain that should have been a 30-yard gain with a face mask thrown on into a hold for a 10-yard loss because it was a hold on the offensive lineman that the ESPN motherfuckers or ABC motherfuckers deigned not to show us.
They didn't show
Which
it.
is just completely unacceptable because there is when you see the pocket on a pass rush, especially, it like live, I could stand
There's
next to the
always holding.
television with a long pointer and just be like, hold. Yeah. That guy tackled that guy. That's not allowed on the offensive line. And they never throw the fucking flag. But like a rushing play, and it's a hold behind the goddamn play anyway, and they don't show you the replay. It's just completely unacceptable. And the refs, and I don't remember now because I didn't go back and rewatch this game, but there were like half a dozen moments in the first half where it felt like we were being fucked on purpose by the referees.
It really did. And I don't usually, because so much of my stupid Twitter is it's rigged and the refs are in the best. Like, it's just shut up. They're doing their best. But it really felt a little extra in the first half of that game. And the yard, I mean, I think total penalty yards, I mean, you could look it up really quickly.
There was a hold on Dylan Bell that was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I think it was a screen of some sort, and Bell got a little bit off to the side of the guy that he was supposed to block, and he leaps into him. There's no hold that is even possible here. Right. Like, I thought what they were throwing, which was going to be bullshit anyway, was illegal block in the back because of the angle that he took. But he hits the guy in the hip or in the shoulder or something from the side and glances off him. And they called a hold. Right. And I'm like, how can you call a hold when he did not even get his hands on the guy? He just sort of shouldered him. Like, and then that on the heels of that, they call the false start on Grunter for clapping twice. And Kirby afterwards in the press conference was like, I don't know why he does that. I don't know why he does the thing where he sort of jerks his body around. And so Kirby was like, okay, fine with that call. But like when we saw it live, because Tessitore fucking sucks, they couldn't properly explain exactly why they were calling that a false start. Because it just looked like the thing that he does all the fucking time.
Like classic, try to draw them off sides.
Right. Yeah, because he was trying to get an offsides call on them to go, and instead we end up, and they didn't, and that was the other thing, they didn't blow it dead.
Yes.
Right. Instead of blowing it dead, they decided after the play went off to say actually this was a dead ball foul false start, which was fucking bogus too. But then of course like the Florida people will complain because that call at the end.
Would you like to see another angle of that?
Is there one that is definitive?
There is one that's definitive. Hold on.
Ooh, I did not know that there was a definitive take here because basically there's a play. I think they're down at this point, right? I think it's 24-20 at this point. There's like 3 minutes left in the game or something. And so it's their last gasp. And somehow their receiver, I don't know if it was Trey Wilson or if it was some other dude, but Trey Wilson ate us up all game long. He had like 8 or 10 catches or something.
Can I send you a Twitter?
Sure, send it. But their receiver got on the other side of our defense entirely, and Lagway throws a bomb down the field, and it ends up being short, which is just that's rough because if this is thrown in stride, it's a touchdown for sure. But the receiver has to stop and turn around. And as he's falling down, like he's basically on the ground, the ball appears to land between his arms. And like If they had called it a catch on the field, I think the review would have said, yeah, we can't overturn that. But they called it an incomplete pass because from the looks of it live, it looked to me like it bounced off the ground.
I thought it was a catch live.
Lori thought it was a catch. I thought it bounced off the ground. They ruled it as an incomplete pass. And then once you go to replay, at no point did I see an angle on the television replay that showed me definitively one way or the other what had happened. And so what I'm saying in the group chats at that point is
just have to go with
they
what
have
the
to
call
go
on the
with what's
field.
on the field. And that sucks because I'm not sure exactly what it was. But, hey, call on the field must stand. And ultimately that's what ends up happening. And Florida has to punt on that drive. Lori just sent a tweet here, and it says, "This is the only thing I'm going to say about this. Prior to the review of the play occurring, they showed a straight-on view of the play on the stadium big screen. It was the clearest view of the play out of all the angles they showed after that, and it was never shown again."
And then he found it.
And then he found it because he was quote tweeting somebody else who showed the reverse angle, like from
Behind.
the Florida, from the Georgia end zone, where it looks like he's got both arms under it.
It looks. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but it
you
looks like
can't
he
tell.
might. But this straight-on view from the Florida end zone, to me, it sure looks like it bounces off the turf there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it looks like it's hitting the ground, but you can go really either way.
I mean, I don't know, because to me, the way that ball hits the ground, I mean, just looking at this one freeze frame that I have here, it doesn't seem like there's any way it could do anything but hit the ground. Like, his arms are far enough apart, and the ball is only so big. It just looks like it probably hit the ground. I mean, it's, whatever.
It's very close.
Very close, and that's the sort of thing that happens in games like these. But the end of this game, Georgia gets the ball, and of course the big play is, and I didn't know that this was the case, and I've been making fun of Grunter for being a dummy the entire year, and I stand by that as a Georgia fan. But apparently Grunter checked into the big run play for Bowens. Like, he identified something in the defense and checked into that whatever it was, 25 or 30 yard touchdown run that Bowens had.
No kidding.
So great
really?
job by
Yeah,
Grunter
great.
to identify whatever that was and then put the ball in Bowens' belly and have him rumble for the score. But then at the end of the game, the score is 24-20. This was at game time. It was a 6.5 point spread. I think I had it at 7.5 points when we were making our picks. Grunter scrambles and gets the first down, and his first down is all we needed to win the game, and then takes a knee at the 2-yard line, and that's up by 4. And he could have scored that touchdown. We kick the extra point and go up 31-20. That would have covered the spread, and in all likelihood, we're winning the game anyway. But Kirby had drilled into him since the last time this happened. Just take the knee there, and we can end this game with the ball on our side, and who cares about the scoreboard?
Right.
Like, what are we trying to do, pad stats here? Take the knee and win the game in victory formation, and that's what he does there, upsetting a great number of people.
Oh yeah,
no
because
doubt.
wasn't the over would have hit also, right?
Yeah. Spiritually, the dogs covered. Less so literally, where it matters.
It also felt a little like the Urban Meyer timeout in, I don't know, what year was that? 2014?
Urban Meyer timeout would have been like 2009, right?
2009, yeah, a long
Because
time
you're-
ago.
When-
They were up by
what was
50.
what was the year that we did the celebration on the field? I think that was 08.
Oh, 07,
Was it
08,
08
something
or
like that.
07? It was whatever. It was a long time ago.
The year after, whatever it was, the year after we did where Rick says, you better go out there and get I want an excessive celebration penalty after we score on the opening drive. And he was referring to the 11 dudes on the field in his mind. But what the Georgia team took that to mean was all 80 of us
Everybody.
better run on the field and get an excessive celebration penalty. And that's what they did then. Urban Meyer, a year later, calls 2 or 3 timeouts when they're in victory formation at the end of the game there to rub it in Georgia's wounds. I agree with you, Lori. Grunter taking a knee there kind of felt like
Little bit.
rubbing it in. but also it's the right football play.
Yes, totally. But it took me half an hour to recover from that game.
Yeah,
I hated that.
It felt like if we didn't get a first down there and we had to kick a short field goal and give them the ball back with a minute to go, I was certain this game was going to overtime. Like the number of times that Trey Wilson got on the wrong side of our defense and hit long ones, and other receivers, like our secondary was just fucking cooked.
Yeah.
And I know, like, we have occasionally made surprising defensive stands seemingly out of nowhere, but I was getting quite fatalistic about what was going to happen if we had to kick a field goal with a minute to go. So it was a tremendous relief to me when Grunter got the first down. This team is really, really fun to root for, and I know that Georgia people we're spoiled as shit, right? And I'm not necessarily excluding myself from that. I'm the beneficiary of back-to-back titles. It is a great time to be a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Kirby is everything that I want in a head football coach, and the program is
He's so wonderful.
is in great shape. But I don't think that I am myopic and insane in the way that a lot of Georgia people are, where like the only acceptable thing is to be Saban's Death Star 2.0, right? That the only acceptable thing is to dominate the sport the way that we did for 2 years in a way that is simply not, it's no longer in keeping with the reality of the sport as a whole.
Unless you're Ohio State or Indiana.
Yeah, but even then, like, we don't actually know what those teams really are. And
I know.
And we're talking about being able to sustain that over the course of 10 or 15 years is what people think, right? That no other outcome is even acceptable, that you must win all of your games all of the time. And as someone whose favorite Georgia quarterback of all time is and forever will be Aaron Murray, right? A guy who just got the shit kicked out of him for years and always got back up. Like, I love a team with the amount of fucking fight that these guys seem to have. Like, this is as unpleasant as can be, getting down big and having to fight and claw your way back. I don't know what more I would ask for out of a football team that I'm rooting for than one that maybe isn't as talented as some of the teams that we've had in the past, maybe isn't as like, I don't know, they don't maybe they're not one of the 10 best teams in the country. But they keep fucking doing it on the field.
They're
right?
so great.
And what he said in his press conference about C.J. Allen is the single greatest thing that a coach can say about one of his players. Kirby did.
Man, I wish he was out there every play. I mean, he's a machine. He erases things. Ball gets out, Lagway looks like he's about to go, and I was like, he looks like he's going to run for a long way. And C.J. runs him down and tackles him like right away. I mean, the kid practices so hard and wants to win so bad for Georgia. I don't know that I've seen a kid that cared more about the team performance than CJ does. Now, a lot of people care about it. They're not willing to practice like he does, and he practices so hard that it comes across in his play. He's a great leader, and I appreciate the work he puts into it.
He wants to win so hard for Georgia. Like, what else could you ask to be said about you besides that from your head football coach? And he shows up in practice and wants to win. And like, I paused it and I made Calvin watch it twice. I was like, you need to be the kid who works so hard in practice.
He's never going to be that.
No, he's not going to be that kid. But it's just the sort of like, and I know like it's going to bite me in the ass eventually because this is a team that's like, you can't keep winning games like this, right? I mean, we did it against almost did it against Alabama too. That's what's insane, right? Like, we probably would be ranked ahead of Indiana, or like I don't know if we're undefeated at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
are we the number one team in the country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Just based on like where we started the year, we would have just kind of stayed up there.
Like, undeserving though, right? Like, 'cause we've played all of these tight games against, in theory, inferior competition. And we're going to do it again this week. We have to go to Starkville. I know Mississippi State finally gets a win.
Watch the cowbell.
Congratulations. I like that it's an early start. I like that it's a nooner. It's an 11 a.m.
11
their
a.m.
time.
there. I'm not going to go to Calvin's soccer game. I'm going to watch this instead.
Yeah, I think it benefits the road team, right? I would hate this game if this was a nooner at home against the Bizarros. Like this would be a nightmare, I suspect.
It might still be.
It might still be anyway, but like on the road, I'm a little bit less nervous about it. Oddly enough, I like that it's a business trip and they have to go out there and SEC on the road. I don't think that Kirby's going to have trouble getting their heads in the right space. But also, like if they get into a game again, like and because this game ended right when Grunter takes that knee, I stood up and I pointed my finger in Calvin's face because he had been crying, like almost crying earlier in this game when it looked like we were going to lose to fucking Florida. And I said, "You didn't believe." And then I turned around and I looked at Lori. I said, "You didn't believe."
I don't even remember that.
And
I have no memory of that.
I did not point at Katie and say, "You didn't believe," because she only expressed the normal amount of disinterest throughout this entire thing. But the rest of my family had lost the faith. Naveed had lost the faith. So many of you bums out there, no doubt, had lost the faith.
I love them so much. I love them so much. I love everything you've said about them. I love them. I want to beat a good team by 3 scores and have fun. Yeah. I love them, and I don't need it to do it every game. Just can I relax?
In the early part of the game, Georgia scores a touchdown. I'm thinking, okay, easy does it. And then there is this. I think it was like a Georgia punts the ball, one play touchdown. It was
Poorly.
Immediate touchdown and then pick. I was like, oh no. And then once Florida couldn't do much, they just kept on punting the ball. I'm like, oh, that team sucks, so it doesn't matter. So Georgia's gonna be okay because you're not worried about this game getting away because Florida is terrible. So were you able to listen? Were you listening to Tessitore and Jordan Rogers? They had the sound on at the place.
Okay, maybe it didn't bother you as much because you're surrounded by hundreds of people and barking dogs. Yeah. But there was something about having to listen to these motherfuckers talk that made the game that much more unpleasant to endure. I recognize, because looking back on it, you're right. Florida, they sucked. They had a couple of big plays, and it was frustrating because we've seen so many times our secondary give up big plays. But it's not like it was against Ole Miss where they sort of ran away or tried to run away from us. It's not like Tennessee where they got out to it, or Alabama where they got out to a big lead. It was just ugly football for the most part. But I don't know. There's something about having to listen to the play-by-play in your ear the whole time on top of it that made it that much more unpleasant.
Well, that
to endure.
on top of the officiating.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were working together. It didn't seem like. It felt like they were working together.
Yeah.
To ruin my day.
Yeah. We should beat Mississippi State
by more than 7, but oh well.
It's only a touchdown spread.
That's for later to talk about.
I know it's for later, but also we've got Texas and we've got Georgia Tech still on the schedule. I know.
And Charlotte.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Yek.
Trap game.
Yek just got their asses kicked by NC State, but you just don't know what's going to happen there.
3:30 on a Friday.
I anticipate at least 2 out of those 3 big games to be close, presumably. You have to assume it anyway.
It's because we're playing in them. You have to assume they're going to be close because we're playing in them.
Yeah. I know we did everything sort of out of order, but just a wonderful weekend of sports for me personally.
Except the Dodgers winning.
But
That's right.
the game was entertaining enough. If you're just if you had no rooting interest, I know people don't like the Dodgers.
Awesome baseball game. Yeah.
That Yoshi guy, man, holy shit! What a great pitcher.
Yeah, Yamamoto gets the World Series MVP. What did he throw? He threw 100 pitches the night before, and then comes in to seal the deal in Game 7.
Earlier you said that spiritually Georgia covered, or however you phrased it. I think I am spiritually right about this Toronto sports team. I say they choke and they choked, and here we are. Like, they didn't choke a series ago, but
They take that team of rotten Dodger mercenaries to the absolute limit,
they had what was it?
and you're still calling them chokers?
They were up, weren't they up 3-2? They just had to just win one out of the next two, and they couldn't. At home, no less. Choke.
An awesome game. That guy for Toronto, who I described as he looks like a dollar store Bryce Harper, Ernie, what was the guy's name? Ernie Clement or something. Yeah, I said to my two comments to Naveed texting during this Game 7. I said Ernie in scare quotes, Clement in scare quotes, and that was the entirety of the text. Because who the fuck is this guy? And he's got more hits in a postseason than anybody in history for the Toronto Blue Jays. He had 30 fucking hits, and he almost won the fucking thing. He hit a ball all the way to the warning track, and that would have won it. And just spectacular. And I said Ernie Clement looks like dollar store Bruce Hooper, which is exactly right. I'll make sure there's a picture of Ernie Clement in the show note at brainiron.substack.com so that you too can appreciate how much Ernie Clement looks like dollar store Bruce Hooper.
We got to go to bed.
Yeah, we got to go. All right, CIB 2025 football pick'em contest. I have no reason to bring this up. Oh, except for the fact that I have sprung into the lead.
You.
Man, I'm coming. First, note Calvin, 3-3 on Calvin's picks over the weekend. He had Vandy, BC, and Cal. All of that went poorly. But he also had Georgia, Oklahoma, and Utah, and that worked out for him just fine. As we mentioned, Jimmy Carter called the Texas game correctly. Cousin Steve, who was out in front in our game, picked up 20 points this week to get to 152 points. Lori had a very good week with 25 points, getting 4 out of her 5 games correct. Abe.
I don't remember what a single one of them was.
Abe
goes 0 for 3 in his college picks, and then riding my
bullshit. Remember that Google Keep?
riding my coattails in the NFL. He scrapes together 20 points.
This is the most points collectively. I mean, usually it's
a spectacular week for the league. Yes. But I had a very good week. I got 3 games out of 5 correct, and all 3 of those were road underdogs picked to win outright to collect 30 points, and I now have 160 points to take the lead. We have ourselves a contest here, by the way. 160 for me, 152 for Cousin Steve, 150 for Abe, and Lori just 3 points behind that in the caboose with 147 points.
Remarkable 2-week stretch for you, Bob. 45 and then 30. What will you do this weekend? We'll see. Squadouche.
Right. How dare you? Right back into it. Jimmy Carter 6-4, 2 games clear of 500 after 10 weeks, and Abe live bets the games. Currently 8-9.
We'll be at 500 after tonight. Yeah.
Almost certainly. Lori, will you please update the fantasy football quarterback thing?
Bob's winning by a lot.
Am I still up by a lot?
So much. 1,300 to 991 to 1028.
Oh, yeah.
Of note, despite losing Bob's best player this week, I'm tired. Arizona State's quarterback team.
All right, because Sam Leavitt is out for the season, but I
Oh no, I'm wrong. No, that was right. Yes. Okay, so he's out for the season. 177 passing yards. However, 228 rushing yards.
See, that's what you got to know. Coming into the season, you might lose your veteran, your salty vet.
Do you see why quarterback room is more fun?
You might lose Sam. Oh, no, but this is what I'm saying. It's fucking stupid. I didn't know that the backup for Sam Leavitt was going to go for 220-something yards in Week 10. That's ridiculous.
Also, and same kind of... So that was your best performance. The best performance overall was another losing quarterback in Haynes King,
Oh.
who threw for 408 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, and ran for 103 yards and 2 interceptions. So that was a big deal for him.
Yeah. Haynes King evidently has no protection. Just gets beat up the entire time. We haven't gotten to a single quarterback all year, so I suspect that we won't get to Haynes King either. Let's see here. Anything in the NFL worth mentioning? The
Jaden Daniels' elbow.
Bears and the Bengals. Before we get into that which gave Abe a...
He's smiling. Look at this
It's
smile.
disgusting. I'll just tell you that whatever happened when Abe saw what happened to Jaden Daniels, it was disgusting. Before we get into that, the Bears and the Bengals, 47-42 in an NFL football game.
It was a wild game. It looked like the Bengals' old man Flacco was going to win one, and then just for whatever reason, the Cincinnati defense is like atrocious, and they just allowed a stupid like 50-yard touchdown to lose the game. But it was a very high-scoring, very entertaining like last 30 minutes.
Panthers and Packers. This is why like betting on the NFL is just it's so fucking stupid. The Panthers go to Green Bay. The Panthers are not a very good. Like they're better, I guess, than people thought they were going to be, or at least they've won a few. They're over 500. But like the Packers are, after the first couple weeks of the season, we're like, a Super Bowl favorite maybe. The Packers, like this is a very good team here, and they lose at home to the Panthers. What else? The Falcons can't get out of their own way. They lose to the surprising Patriots. I don't know what it is about Jackson Dart, but all of this, and maybe it's, I can't imagine that this is what it's like in New York media, but all of the stuff that I see across my feed about Jackson Dart is like, another signs point to how awesome this is going to be for the Giants long term as they lose another game and drop to 2-7 on the season. Like, why is the media so positive on the face painted wonder there, Jackson Dart? I don't understand.
He's giving them some hope, over who, like Russell Wilson.
Yeah, what have they had till now?
Right? I mean, you have to, they seem to have something in this guy. Speaking of Giants quarterbacks, the current quarterback for the Colts, Daniel Jones, he, you were expecting him to have a letdown game after starting off pretty hot, and boy, did he ever. One of just like a all-time Daniel Jones games. He had I think he was sacked 5 times. He threw 3 picks. He fumbled the ball 3 times. Two of them lost. He recovered. They were able to recover one of them.
Responsible for
5 turnovers.
Turnovers.
The fact that it was only a 7-point game, I was like, okay, either Pittsburgh really sucks, because they should be able to take advantage of not 5 turnovers from him and then another turnover from a receiver. 6 turnovers.
So you're saying all of these sacks and fumbles. Jonathan Taylor only goes 14 carries for 45 yards. It's not like he had a very good game either. Are we sure this wasn't on the line, perhaps, some?
It was definitely on the line. The O-line was just had a bad game. Just one of those, just pretend it didn't happen. They're going to be in Germany this weekend to beat up on the Falcons, and they'll have a bye week. So, I'm not too concerned. But just, I hope Daniel Jones got it out of his system. It's a whatever game. Still number 1 team in the AFC. It's totally fine.
We had a record-breaking field goal in the NFL.
68 yards.
Very nearly
That's
nice.
crazy.
68 yards for a field goal, and it had every bit of I don't know how many, but it wasn't it was true and through.
Yeah, it wasn't barely. Somebody somewhere said that the reason why, if they had the graphic up of the longest kicks, and so many of them have happened in the last 5 years. And one theory is that
Global warming.
Kickers, just following the lead of the quarterbacks, they're allowed to have the balls and they can kind of do with it what they want.
That's new this season, right? They get the balls for days ahead of time.
Right. So they're saying is that giving them some advantage? I think in the game tonight, a Dallas Cowboy kicker tried to go for a 68-yarder. He didn't hit, but I think we're not far off from a 70-yard going through. Because, he had 2 yards, right? That's 6.
Oh, yeah,
right?
easy.
So, if the situation calls for it, that'd be amazing, 70 yards. But like I think maybe it's because of what they're able to do now that they couldn't do before.
Yeah. And then on to the Jaden Daniels situation. I have in the past complained about like going on Facebook, and I call it like Faces of Death book, because like you're just scrolling through Facebook and some asshole has posted like a video of a Taliban beheading or something like that, or ISIS beheading. It's like somebody's talking about suicides, or you go on Twitter and you see Charlie Kirk's neck explode, and say, "Oh, this is all very unpleasant." I'm just in my Google feed, just scrolling. Like you have Android pulled up here, and I swipe to the right, and it just pulls up my Google News feed, and I'm just scrolling, and then I see a picture pop up, and it's just Jaden Daniels' arm bent the wrong way, like his elbow is
like a bird.
There was a Charlie Sheen movie in the 90s. I think it was called Arrival or The Arrival or something like that. Because then later on there was the highfalutin sci-fi movie, I think also called Arrival with the redheaded chick.
Right. Yeah.
Amy Adams.
She's like a language expert or whatever. Like, what do y'all want?
Right.
Yeah, it was good.
Like a high concept sci-fi that was a very, very good movie. But there was in the 90s a movie called
Charlie Sheen was in
The Arrival. Okay. It used to be on HBO all the time is the only explanation that I have
memory of it.
For it. But in The Arrival, one of the freak moments is that because Charlie Sheen is he's like a paranoiac, but of course you're not really a paranoiac if you turn out to be right about the fact that the aliens are here, right? But like their knees, the way that they reveal themselves to be inhuman in some way is that when they're sort of popping out of their human form, their knees go the wrong way, right? So normally the knee would be like this, but then when they reveal themselves to be aliens, they pop them out this way, and then they can leap up like a jumping cricket spider or something, right?
Effective.
That's all I remember about that fucking movie.
For aliens, that's pretty effective communication. Like, how can we tell these people that we're not like them?
Right. You just pop the knees backwards and then hop around like a cricket spider. But I'm scrolling through the Google News feed, and I see Jaden Daniels' arm is turned like an alien from The Arrival, the 1996 thriller from Charlie Sheen, and like I nearly lose my lunch. Yeah. It's like, what? Why would you put that image into my feed on purpose, you sick bastards?
It's all about engagement.
And the only explanation is that Google knows that I'm friends with Abe, who's a real sick fuck. And Abe has not yet sent me video of this for some reason. So Google's like, we know that Abe was going to send this to you anyway. So here, check this out.
This was the situation. I mean, this is happening in a garbage time moment, right? Like, it's surprising that there are still. I mean, I don't know what this Daniels guy who does not have a lot of meat on him, like he's a kind of a thin person.
No, I don't think it would have helped.
It wouldn't have helped, but like he just seems like not the biggest guy. And
he's
why is
very
he
skinny.
Risking himself in this way in a game that's out of hand? It just, not to pin it on him, but it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Not only injury though.
Apparently,
very gross.
There's good news about it.
Really?
Well, you just pop that sucker back in, and it'd be fine in a week or two.
I'd like to hear what the good news is.
Dislocated elbow.
No fracture after the game, just a dislocated elbow. And then last thing in the news this week, the Braves have hired a new manager, and it is a longtime Atlanta Brave. Both in terms of his playing career and then also as part of this coaching staff. Walt Weiss is going to be the next manager for the Atlanta Braves.
So his previous experience as a manager was with Colorado, right? I was reading this up, and he wasn't particularly good there. And so,
no, they were real bad out there, yeah.
But that could just be because, the Rockies are generally bad. They had a couple of good years, but they mostly suck.
Yeah, but he's a Braves guy. Yeah. He's been around the organization for a very long time and has been a coach under Brian Snitker and maybe even going back to Freddie Gonzalez. I'm not sure, but he's been around for a while. He only spent 3 seasons with the Braves. It's funny because it's 98, 99, 2000. There were 3 seasons that I missed probably just an absolute minimum number of games. Like I'm just paying very, very close attention to the Braves at that time. So he stands out as a big part of my fandom from when I was a kid. He always had a really gnarly glove.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
They called it the Creature because he had it forever and it was old and smelly and gross and he would never replace it. Anyway,
It's great to talk about gloves. Can we go to bed?
yeah, you've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports with Bob and Abe. Lori's here too. You can find the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com for more from us. Although at the moment, not a whole lot else more.
We're
but
very busy.
just very busy people. Had a birthday party for the boy tonight. Don't do that. Birthday parties are unnecessary, but it's what we did. Never again.
Not doing it again.
Never again. Tetramermusic.com, Tetramer music.com for more from Mark Gillig, who composed our opening and closing themes. Abe, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
So there's this Yahoo Sports article, and they point to Urban Meyer, who's a disgraced coach, the Jaguars. I mean,
He's disgraceful.
Yes, disgraced coach. You think like this guy? I'm surprised he has like a prominent role in media with Fox Sports.
What was his last public scandal? Was he trying to pick chicks up at the bar or something?
He instead of I want to say it was a Cincinnati Bengals game, like a Monday night or Thursday night game or whatever, and then they lost. And instead of him traveling back with the team, he's like, I'm gonna go to wherever the hell Columbus is, and hang out in my old spots. And he was like doing something finger related with a woman.
Getting handsy at his bar there in Columbus.
And so the whole thing falls apart. He seems to be like a locker room cancer. They get rid of him. And now there are reports that he's saying he's done with the coaching, but privately he's sending out feelers and talking to certain teams, including Penn State, about a job. I don't think that's going to happen, but like the article, the Yahoo Sports article, they point to the NIL issue being a thing where this is before his time, or this came after his time, rather. So when he was a coach, NIL wasn't a thing, and apparently he did not answer to their satisfaction questions about how he's going to deal with NIL-related matters. And so hopefully this guy didn't get another chance. He's had enough chances. Just do the TV gig. It's an easy job. And just hire – I just want to hear new names. I'm hearing the same coaches being brought up for these jobs. Just
don't worry.
Hire somebody new, please.
You will.
Counterpoint. Yeah. It would be hilarious if Penn State gave Urban Meyer $15 million a year or something along those lines to come coach for them and – poison their program for 10 years or so, right?
Another 10 years. The program's already poisoned because of the.
Oh, that long. Yeah, that. Would Urban Meyer's ego allow him to accept like a incentive-based contract to say like?
No, absolutely not. This is a guy. He won 2 titles at Florida, and then wins a title in 2014 at Ohio State. Yeah. Like undoubtedly knows what he's doing as far as that stuff goes. And I would be tempted if I'm Penn State. Are you kidding me? Like if you're Penn State or you're Florida State for that matter, if you're one of these schools that can pay, you would have to be tempted to say, because there would be no bigger name.
Yeah, no, but you try to get a good coach, not a name.
Yeah, but he is also that, right?
We don't know how good of a coach he is anymore. I mean, look at what's going on with Belichick. I mean, he's kind of really salvaging things.
But no, opposite, because he was good in college.
Right, but again, I think it's just a different, like with the Nick Saban thing, like I think there's a recognition that this is not exactly how it was 10 years ago. Like it's a different chaotic environment. And so like how good of a coach is he going to be?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I don't think he's going to go to Penn State and win them a national title. I'm saying it would be hilarious if they hired him and paid him $15 million a year to essentially self-sabotage themselves.
If this report is true that he's in fact seeking some job, somebody's going to hire him, right? I mean, he's not going to go to...
I don't think he might be seeking...
the right job.
The right job. I don't think he's just seeking any job.
Come to Auburn, Urban.
Maybe I'll go to Kentucky or something if that one happens to come open.
He should come to Auburn.
That would be a program and coach fit if ever there was one in terms of a dirtbag meet dirtbag city kind of situation.
Another man of integrity will be the introduction.
Yeah. Lori, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
No.
No. Google and YouTube, get it the fuck together.
Yes.
This is not acceptable. I am, at this point, like, whatever, YouTube, charge me the extra $12 or $15 a month. Just put it all on one bill. Don't make me chase these stupid different things and all these stupid apps. And you gotta pull out your phone and get the QR code to log in to the right fucking thing. It's like, can we be logged in to all of our TVs using this? Like, what are the stupid limits? Yes, fine. 4K upgrade me. I don't fucking care. Fuck you. Stop with this. That is my people's revolt.
Yep.
Abe, have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
I guess that's all we've got for you tonight then. And we will talk to you next time.
Later.
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.